Professor David S.Oderberg is an Australian philosopher of metaphysics and ethics based in Britain since 1987. He is Professor of Philosophy at the University of Reading. He describes himself as a non-consequentialist or a traditionalist in his works. Broadly speaking, Oderberg places himself in opposition to Peter Singer and other utilitarian consequentialist thinkers. He has published over 30 academic papers and has authored 4 books: Real Essentialism, Applied Ethics, Moral Theory, and The Metaphysics of Identity Over Time. Professor Oderberg is an alumnus of the Universities of Melbourne, where he completed his first degrees, and Oxford, where he gained his D.Phil. He was appointed editor of Ratio, the Philosophical Quarterly, in late 2012. Applied Ethics, which was first published in 2000, has become one of the most important of Oderberg's works. Oderberg applies his classical viewpoint to some controversial ethical issues: abortion, euthanasia, animal rights, capital punishment, and the just war. Oderberg provides a detailed defense of the view that abortion is morally wrong because the fetus is an innocent life, and intentionally taking an innocent life is always morally wrong. He aims to refute views like those of Peter Singer, who suggests that we deny that it is always wrong to intentionally kill innocent human beings. Oderberg compares legalized abortion to contract killing, arguing that the state has no more right to legalize and regulate abortion on the ground that this would take it out of the back street, than it does to legalize and regulate contract killing on the same ground. On the subject of euthanasia, he argues that it too is immoral, because, like abortion, it involves the intentional killing of an innocent human being. Voluntary euthanasia is no more justifiable than involuntary, since a person has no absolute right to do whatever they want with the body. Furthermore, he believes the current scientific definition of brain death is unsatisfactory both on metaphysical grounds and from an ethical point of view. Oderberg's position on animal rights is similar to that of Aquinas, rejecting in principle the idea that humans have duties to animals because they are not moral agents. He nonetheless believes that humans still have duties in respect of them to treat them kindly. On the death penalty, Oderberg supports the state's right to enforce capital punishment, because justice must be retributive, and death, being the worst punishment, is the suitable punishment for the worst crime, e.g., murder. Oderberg supports just war theory, and believes that civilians who do not contribute to the war effort should not be targeted. In virtue of this, he regards the use of atomic warfare in World War II to have been a seriously immoral act. Books: Real Essentialism, ISBN 9780415323642. Applied Ethics, A Non-Consequentialist Approach, ISBN 0631219056. Moral Theory, A Non-Consequentialist Approach, ISBN 0631219003X. The Metaphysics of Identity Over Time, ISBN 0333593510, ISBN 0312102089. Articles: The Morality of Reputation and the Judgment of Others, Journal of Practical Ethics 1, 3-33. Synthetic Life and the Bruteness of Immanent Causation, in E. Professor Aristotle on Method and Metaphysics, 206-35. Natural Law and Rights Theory, in G. Gauss and F. D'Agostino, The Rutledge Companion to Social and Political Philosophy, 375-86. Survivalism, Corruptionism, Embryology, European Journal for Philosophy of Religion 4, 1-26. Hume, The Occult and the Substance of the School, Metaphysica 13, 155-74. No potency without actuality, The Case of Graph Theory, in Tuomas E. Tarka Contemporary Aristotelian Metaphysics, 207-28. Graph Structuralism and Its Discontents, Rejoinder to Shackle Analysis 72, 94-8. Disembodied Communication and Religious Experience, The Online Model, Philosophy and Technology 25, 381-97. Essence and Properties, Erkenntnis 75, 85-111. Morality, Religion, and Cosmic Justice, Philosophical Investigations 34, 189-213. The World is Not an Asymmetric Graph Analysis 71, 3-10. The Metaphysical Foundations of Natural Law, in H. Zaborowski. Natural Moral Law in Contemporary Society, 44-75. The Doctrine of Double Effect, in T. O'Connor and C. Sandys. A Companion to the Philosophy of Action, 324-30. Whatever is changing is being changed by something else. A reappraisal of Premise 1 of The First Way, in J. Cottingham and P. Hack. Mind, Method and Morality, Essays in Honor of Anthony Kenny, 140-64. Persistence, in J. Kim, E. Sosa, and G. Rosenkrantz. A Companion to Metaphysics, 2nd ed., 55-65. The Non-Identity of the Categorical and the Dispositional Analysis 69, 677-84. The Metaphysical Status of the Embryo, Some Arguments Revisited, Journal of Applied Philosophy 25, 263-76. Concepts, Dualism and the Human Intellect, in A. Antonia T. A. Corradini, and E. J. Lowe. Psychophysical Dualism Today, An Interdisciplinary Approach, 211-33. Self-love, Love of Neighbor, and Impartiality, in N. Athanasius and S. Weiss. The Moral Life, Essays in Honor of John Cottingham, 58-84. Teleology, Inorganic and Organic, in E. M. Gonzalez. Contemporary Perspectives on Natural Law, 259-79. The Cosmological Argument, in C. Meister and P. Copan. The Rutledge Companion to Philosophy of Religion, 341-50. Instantaneous Change Without Instance, in C. Patterson and M.S. Pugh. Analytical Thomism, Traditions in Dialogue, 101-18. Artificial Reproduction, The Welfare Principle and the Common Good, Medical Law Review 13, 328-56. Towards a Natural Law Critique of Genetic Engineering, in N. Athanasius. Philosophical Reflections on Medical Ethics, 109-134. Hylomorphic Dualism, in E. F. Paul, F. D. Miller, and J. Paul. Personal Identity, 70-99. 70-99. Predicate Logic and Bare Particulars, in D. S. Oderberg. The Old New Logic, Essays on the Philosophy of Fred Summers, 183-210. The Structure and Content of the Good, in D. S. Oderberg and T. Chappell. Human Values, New Essays on Ethics and Natural Law, 127-65. The Beginning of Existence, International Philosophical Quarterly 43, 145-57. Temporal Parts and the Possibility of Change, Philosophy and Phenomenological Research 69, 686-708. The Ethics of Cooperation in Wrongdoing, in A. Here Modern Moral Philosophy, 203-27. Intelligibility and Intentionality, Acta Analytica 17-1718. The Tristram Shandy Paradox, A Reply to Graham Oppy, Philosophia Christi 4, 353-6. Traversal of the Infinite, the Big Bang, and the Kalam Cosmological Argument, Philosophia Christi 4, 305-34. Hylomorphism and individuation, in J. Haldane, Mind, Metaphysics, and Value in the Thomistic and Analytical Traditions. How to Win Essence Back from Essentialists, Philosophical Writings, 27-45. The Kalam Cosmological Argument, Neither Bloodied Nor Bowed, a response to Graham Oppy, Philosophia Christi 3, 193-6. Is there a right to be wrong? Philosophy 75, 517-37. On the Cardinality of the Cardinal Virtues, International Journal of Philosophical Studies 7, 305-22. Adolf Grunbaum and the Beginning of the Universe, Philosophia Naturalis 36, 187-94. Analytica Moralna Philosophia v20. Storici, in v. Gluckman and Amp. M. Kulil, Sukasne Etikatiri, 9-23. On an Alleged Fallacy in Aristotle, Philosophical Papers 27, 107-18. Modal Properties, Moral Status and Identity, Philosophy and Public Affairs 26, 259-98. Voluntary Euthanasia and Justice, in D. S. Oderberg and J. A. Lame, Human Lives, Critical Essays on Consequentialist Bioethics, 225-40. Coincidence Under Assault, The Philosophical Review 105, 145-71. A Paradox About Authority, Analysis 51, 153-160. Some Problems of Identity Over Time, Cogito 5, 14-20. Reply to Sprigg on Personal and Impersonal Identity, Mind 98, 129-34. Johnston on Human Beings, The Journal of Philosophy 86, 137-41. Kripke and Quas Theoria 53, 115-20. Perceptual Relativism, Philosophia 16, 1-9.